Cheer. You guys are now listening to the Crime Pays podcast. I'm your illustrious host, Mr. Sanchez. I got my co-host with me, Young Glizzy.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show, guys. We appreciate you guys watching. The views are up.
They're up.
The subs are up.
They're up.
Everything is dope.
Yo, we lit.
God is good and the paper's straight.
God is good. And
Yeah.
the paper straight. I like that.
Yeah. Man, I'm happy. How you doing, Glizzy?
I'm doing good, bro. I've had a good week, everything's good. Life's good, bro.
Yeah, life is good, man.
Life is good, dude. I've gotten a lot of good news this week, so.
Yeah, same. I did, man. I was having a kind of a little tumultuous. I don't know the word, but the past 2 weeks have been kind of rough on your boy, dude. But there was light at the end of the tunnel. You know what I'm saying?
There always is, bro.
Yeah,
when times are bad, they only get better. Like, that's how I like to think of life. Like, if I'm going through tough times, I'm like, well, it can't get no worse. It's only going to go up from here, you know?
Yeah, for sure, man. You know, the key, you got to stay deep in prayer, dude. Get in your spiritual side, dude. Stay in that gym. Work on your mental health, you know what I'm saying? And, and just watch God work.
Exactly.
And that's what I did, bro. And it's coming out good, man. I'm freaking happy. I'm excited.
Bangers.
Hell yeah. All right, moving on, man. Anything cool happen to you this week?
This week, no.
No dramatic things?
No.
How's the local economy in the city, dude?
The local economy is doing pretty good, dude, on my end at least. I know I hear sometimes people saying the economy's shit, but
yeah.
I mean, I'm in a business where it's like a luxury in my business, and I'm making money, bro.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people are showing up. Numbers are up, so I think the economy is doing pretty decent.
Yeah, me too. And I've been pushing sales, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I've been doing, bro. Before I would just kind of like do my job, you know what I mean? But now I'm like pushing sales, dude. And it's a good experience, dude. I don't know. There's like a thrill to sales where it's like you're like, you try to do something and you're like, I don't think it's going to work, but let me try it, right? All right, I got this, bro. I got these two things for, I got two things for $500, bro, this and that, blah, blah. Trust me, it's a good deal for you guys, you know what I mean? Boom, 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 blah, blah, bing, blah, boom. I give them the whole spiel, and then I look at them, and they go, I'll take it, and boom.
Yeah,
you know
it's like a little bit of an adrenaline rush.
Yeah, for sure it is, dude.
I used to watch you at the door do it, and then
Yeah.
I was like, yo, I need to do it.
Yeah,
I
dude.
need to start doing that.
For sure. And it gives you asset, like it makes you an asset in the company.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Makes you important.
Yeah. So, that's good. I've been pushing sales. Things have been going good in that thing. Gas is down. Filled up with $40. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's super dope. You know what I mean?
My AC stopped working in my car, so I got bigger problems.
Dude, yeah, I gave you the plug.
Yeah, bro. I need a call, but I want to make sure it's not the fan first, because sometimes you take your car in, and if you don't know a lot about AC, like you're like me.
The new wave is the mobile mechanic, though, bro. They come to the crib. You know what I'm saying? My brother, he's working on like on his custom car. You know what I'm saying? He put a supercharger on it, and he wanted a custom pipe. You know what I'm saying? Now, when you need a custom piping, you got to go to a welder. You usually got to go to a shop. He tells you, okay, I can work on it on Tuesday. Leave me $500, and then I'll come and I'll work on it. And that's usually how those kind of thing goes. Now, my brother got on Facebook, found a mobile guy. He came to the house in a truck, did the measurements, welded the pipe right there. Bing, bang, boom, did the work, in and out.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? My other friend had a problem with his car. Same thing. We got a mobile mechanic. Dude went out there, jacked up the car, changed out the whole inner part of the wheel. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole brake caliper kind of thing. Did that. We didn't have to take the car to a place. So
yeah, bro. That should always be the thing when it comes to mechanics, because if your car's not working, how are you supposed to get it over to?
Well, that you save money, because now you got to get it. Before you used to have to get a tow truck, get it towed over there. You know what I mean?
And then they can rape you on the price because they know you're already there.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
what I'm saying?
For sure. All right, bro. That's about it, bro. I'm hyped. I'm charged. I'm on the Zyn 6 milligrams. I got it running through my veins.
Yeah, you're crazy for 6 milligrams,
dude. I'm on 3 scoops of creatine a day. And I got a hangover, bro, because I drank too much Reposado last night.
Does the creatine, when I took creatine, it makes me feel bloated in my face.
Yeah.
I'm bloated right now, but that's besides the point. But, do you feel bloated after the creatine, or how does it make you feel?
No, I don't feel bloated. I don't.
You feel good, energized?
Yeah.
What would you say the benefit you got from it?
Definitely more fullness in my muscles, mental clarity, strength. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still getting leaner. See my veins popping out of my arms.
Yeah, you're getting pretty lean, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cutting down the carbs, bro.
I've always been scared of creatine because I felt like it'll make me be bloated. You know.
Well, I mean, if you're taking creatine and eating pizza, then yeah, dude, I wouldn't recommend it. You know what I'm saying? But get you some tilapia, get you some good salad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fill up on protein, and you'll do it, dude.
Yeah.
Works. It works good. All right, moving on to the news, bro. You know, Antonio Brown crashed out in Miami, dude.
I saw that.
You did at Aiden Ross's boxing event, bro. You know what I mean? And you know, he's a D1 crash out, dude.
Yo,
he was campaigning for a long time and he got elected. You know what I mean? But
I always say that, bro. If you're looking for problems, you're gonna find them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, the story is we'll run into the story. We'll try to make a long story short, right? So basically, the first reports came out that he was getting jumped, trying to get robbed for his chain, and he defended himself with a firearm, right? And you know, if you hear that story, the video kind of shows him getting jumped and then him going and shooting. You know what I mean? But there's more to the story. You know, allegedly him and the guy, you know, the guy's a Muslim influencer. He makes Muslim content on TikTok. You know what I mean? And they were friends. You know what I mean? And they were in Dubai together at another influencer show that they have in Dubai. And he was hanging out with AB, and he left his chain in AB's hotel room. You know what I mean? Because AB was having a bunch of girls go there. The dude's a religious guy. He's not going to be freak off or whatever, allegedly. So he bounces, but he messes up. He slips. He leaves his $180,000 chain in the hotel. Right?
That was dumb.
That was dumb, but it happens. You know, I could see how that happens. So
I don't see how that happens, bro.
It happens. I lose my shit all the time, bro.
Your chain?
No, never my chain because I never take it off.
Yeah,
you know
that's what I'm saying. I don't take off my chain. I lose my rings.
Yeah.
I lose my rings a lot.
Yeah. So he leaves his chain there. You know what I'm saying? He hits AB up. He goes back to the hotel room. AB's not in the hotel room. So he calls him. He answers the phone. He's in another hotel room with the girls. So he's like, yo, I left my chain in the room, and I'm in the room, and I don't see the chain. Where's my chain at? And he goes, yo, my cousin took your chain. He's going to give it back to you tomorrow. Tomorrow comes. He never gets his chain back, right? AB, a couple of weeks later, is seen out and about wearing Buddy's chain. You know what I mean? So he's like, yo, let me get my chain back. AB is like giving him the cold shoulder. He puts a lawsuit against AB for $180,000. He wins the lawsuit, but AB files for bankruptcy, never pays him. So now they got beef. You know what I mean? They see each other at the Aiden Ross event, and it's on site. AB goes, snuffs Buddy. A big melee breaks out. You know what I'm saying? The security from the event gets into it. That's when you see AB kick the security guard in the face or whatever. And he gets, somehow somebody passes him a gun allegedly, and he goes, pursues the other people and shoots twice. Luckily, nobody was injured. You know what I'm saying? But everybody scattered and left. So when the cops detain AB, there's no witnesses to could say, yo, this guy shot me for this guy shot me for that. You know, so they let him go, buying the story that he was being robbed, right? But AB, not being the most brightest guy, makes a statement to the cops basically that they were trying to rob him for his chain, you know what I mean? And he blames the Muslim dude. When the Muslim dude never even said anything, the Muslim dude just wrote out, you know what I'm saying? So now he's putting the blame on the Muslim dude for robbery. So now the guy has to come out and tell the story. And that's where we are today. The FBI is investigating. I see Antonio Brown being arrested by the FBI within the next couple of weeks.
Damn.
You know what I mean? Crashed out, dude. Crashed out.
Yo, you gotta keep your composure as a man, bro.
Yeah.
You know, that just goes to show how shit could go wild so quickly.
Yeah, but there's consequences for every decision that we make, you know what I'm saying? And those consequences those decisions could have heavy consequences, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And Aiden Ross, he needs to control his environment a little more. You know what I'm saying? I'm not blaming him for the situation, but his little boxing event is getting pretty big. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
He needs to start venuing it and, you know, doing it the proper way. So
I think he did. It's just, you know, people are animals now.
Yeah, I mean, you can't control
He
other
had
people.
security. He had security. They were in the mix. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess you can't control other people.
Yeah. All right, so the king of all cappers, Floyd Mayweather Jr., gets caught capping, saying that he bought 6 high-rise condos with no investors in the middle of Manhattan worth $640 million. And, the internet just didn't let that slide, bro. They started investigating.
Goofy. What a goofy.
Yeah, bro. So now he's like, he's on the back pedal. He's suing everybody who's talking about it, saying that they're messing up his brand. Bro, like, you don't have to be such a capper, dude.
Yeah, dude.
You know what I'm saying?
You could have just shut the fuck up.
Dude, everybody knows you got money. You know what I mean? But, I guess that's kind of his brand. You know what I'm saying? Basically, when influencers want to stunt, right, on the gram, you got to watch what they're doing. You know what I mean? If they have a bunch of jewelry, it's not their jewelry, because of their influence on social media. Jewelers will go with a box of chains and Audemars watches and Rolex iced out watches and let you wear it on the camera. You know what I mean? They'll try to sell you a piece, you know what I mean? But for the most part, they'll let you wear it as long as you promote the jeweler, as long as you put the jeweler in your TikTok posts, as long as you put the jeweler on your Instagram. Same thing with cars. You see these guys all over Miami with these Lambos, these influencers with these Bugattis. These are not their cars. They're promoting the dealership that sells those cars. So if you ever see them, look at the plate, you'll see that it's a dealer plate. You know what I mean? So that's basically the shtick for what's going on. But when you go out and you say, I bought 640 units in Manhattan, well, people could look into that. That's public information. They could Google who are the owners of that building, boom, boom, boom. So, basically, Floyd Mayweather went viral for all the wrong reasons this week for, basically being exposed for being a cap artist. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Not the smartest.
Yeah, and then you claim you got all this money and you got all this. He still hasn't paid Logan Paul for their fight. You know what I'm saying?
That's facts?
That's facts, dude. He's suing him.
He's suing Logan Paul?
Yeah.
What a piece of shit.
No. Logan Paul's suing him.
Oh, I thought he was suing Logan Paul and he wasn't paying Logan Paul.
No, Floyd never paid Logan Paul for their fight.
Damn, that's dirty.
Yeah. So, it happens.
That's why he put his team. That's why he was so insistent on putting his team and his brand on there.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I mean, it's the story of all athletes. They make hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. They have no idea how to control money, and then sadly, this what happens. You know what I'm saying? We got Manny Pacquiao's going to be going back into the ring now at 46 because he's broke. He has no bread. You don't quit boxing. Boxing quits you, I guess.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you could look at, someone as legendary as Tyson. He's been going back and back for a little payout.
Yeah, for sure. All right, moving on to the Diddy case. Not that I really like talking about it, but it does dominate the news, and Diddy's case is looking good for Diddy. His team is...
I like talking about it.
Yeah. His team is dissecting the witnesses, and they are making them out to be liars, dude. You know what I mean? Cassie did corroborate the Audi story. What's that guy? Jonathan Odie. You know who Jonathan Odie is?
That's the guy is that the guy that did the Trump Tower shit?
Yes, bro. This guy, a long time ago, maybe like 2012 or something, or 2016, this maniac goes into the Trump Tower and he blasts the place up, right? He gets into a shootout with the cops and he gets hit. I believe he hit a cop. You know what I mean? When they're interrogating him, he says that he was a sex slave for Diddy and Cassie, that they gave him herpes, that he secretly recorded a tape of the freak off, right? And that Diddy gave him $5 million to hand over the videotape and sign an NDA. Now, when he said all these things, you know what I'm saying? People wrote him off as being crazy because he just like shot up Trump Towers.
Yeah.
So they're like, yo, this guy is fried. You know what I mean? But this week, Cassie did testify that she did have sex with him, that Diddy did give him $5 million. And basically, since he was a wild escort porno drug dude, he got $5 million from Diddy, and he crashed out. Started doing more drugs, more crap, and to the point that he went completely insane and shot up the Trump Tower. So, yeah, that's a real story, dude.
It's a sad,
you guys
sad
want
ending.
Check out that interrogation. It's pretty sick. You know what I mean? Online.
They have the interrogation of the slave.
Yeah,
the slave.
The slave.
I forgot his name.
He's currently being held in Miami-Dade County Jail with 8 years. He's been there. He hasn't got a trial date yet. I think they hit him with like domestic terrorism charges. I don't know, but what he said was true.
Yeah, and there also came out the text with Cassie and Diddy, and Cassie saying that she can't wait for the next one.
But while she was with her current husband.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, so like if this guy brutalized you and this guy did all these things, why are you texting him when you already got your new husband? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't trust these women out here, man.
You know what I'm... Dude.
No, you cannot, dude. They'll do you dirty.
I mean, I'm sure she feels in some way that she was abused. You know, he did beat her ass, right?
Yeah.
But... I mean, mama, you were involved in those freak offs too, dude.
That's what I'm saying. This is not a trafficking case. This is a domestic violence case that they put it into a RICO, and I think that's why they're going to lose.
Yeah. And he is guilty of domestic violence, dude. I'll give you that, bro. He hit her.
Yeah, for sure. The Knicks are going to the finals for like the first time like in my lifetime, I think. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Knicks fans.
Yeah, I've never seen the Knicks at the finals.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I know you're not a big basketball guy, but it's kind of...
I've been talking about it with the guys at the bar.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, they're going, man. Let's see what happens. You gonna make a bet or what?
Yeah, I'm gonna make a bet. I'm gonna put it on the Knicks
to win it all.
Yeah, dude.
Yo, that's probably a good bet.
Yeah, because I'm sure it's gonna be a good. I might do a parlay.
Yeah,
it might be a lock. Might be a lock.
Dude, I know this guy who did a 19 bet parlay. Got to the 18th game winning and lost the last game.
Motherfucker, dude. I would be so mad.
I know this guy. Like, this is not like I read it on the internet. I personally know him, dude. He bet $40 on the Hard Rock app, 19 bet parlay. He was going to win $1.1 million.
Damn,
and
bro.
he didn't cash out early for a big amount. Because, sometimes the Hard Rock will let you cash out.
Damn, and they gave him an option?
They gave him the option, but... It would have been like
that sucks the worst.
It would have been like a couple $100,000 instead of the 1.1 million he was gonna win.
Yo, the thing is that when you're a gambler, when you're a degenerate gambler out here, like when I gamble, I really want to go all in. Like I want to win the big gold pot.
Yeah.
Even with Ethereum or cryptocurrencies, right? Like I have made bad decisions just because I want more money because of my greed. It's crazy.
Yeah, for sure, man. Let's see what happens, bro. The Knicks are the Heat nemesis. You know what I'm saying? I don't love them, but I'm happy for them. All right, moving on to our favorite topic. The one that gets the people going.
Yeah,
politics.
Yes.
All right. Let's start with Joe Biden being diagnosed with stage 4 prostate cancer.
That sucks.
Yeah, I mean that's a sad situation, right?
That is a really sad situation, and prayers go out to him and his family.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't wish that on nobody.
Facts.
Yeah.
I mean, that's bad news for anybody. For you to wish, or not even, for you to celebrate somebody being sick like that, that's pretty sick.
But stage 4?
Yeah, stage 4. I mean, Dr. Jill Biden, the doctor, she didn't notice.
Yeah, like he was president of the United States. No one,
the best healthcare in the world.
Exactly. No one checked him.
Every year he gets a physical exam.
Yeah, in 3 months he got stage 4.
Yeah, I know.
Cancer, which is sad.
Don't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining, dude.
Yeah.
All right, this is where the Democrats always lose me with their fake news and their propaganda, dude. You guys sat here and told us that Joe Biden was the sharpest version of Joe Biden that you've ever seen, that he was strong, that he was on the ball, that he was this, he was that, and we now know that is cap. Dude was terminally ill. Dude couldn't get through a damn sentence, and you guys lied to the American people saying that he was the best version of himself, that he was super strong, that he could run for another 4 years. You guys knew that he was sick. That's why you took him out and you put Kamala in, because they knew what time it was.
And worst of all, I think it's really abuse on him, dude. Like, you forced this man to go in public, speak, and do all these things while you knew he was sick.
Yeah, he should have been at home resting.
Allegedly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, he should have been at home resting. You guys should have helped him out. If with the minute they noticed, they should have made a statement and, put Kamala in charge. That would have been horrible. But that's what should have happened. They should not have made that man go through all that.
Yeah, for sure. And Trump does a monumental move for the lower middle class, and he passes no tax on tips.
Yes. That's
what
exactly what we fucking voted for.
That's what I voted for.
And to all of you that sat there and went on the gram after this whole document came out and said, he didn't put tax on tips. You guys suck, you guys. Look, he tricked you. He didn't trick us, dude. You guys didn't read it right. And now you deleted your videos and you look like fools.
Yeah.
He did it. He's doing exactly everything he said he was going to do for us. The only thing he didn't do is give us the Epstein list yet. Yeah. But everything, he's been keeping all his promises. I think this is the only president in my lifetime to try and actually complete all promises.
Yeah.
You know?
For
like,
sure.
I don't know one other one.
Promises made, promises kept. Now, how does this affect people? If you don't work on tips, let me break it down for you. So basically, when you work on tips, you get like the lowest pay rate, right? You get like $3 an hour, and then you work on tips, right?
Yeah, now it's like 9.9.
Now, it leaves it up to you to claim your tips and pay taxes on your tips to boost your income, right? Why do you want to boost your income? Well, if you want to buy assets in this country, you need to have a good income and a good credit score. Right?
You want a loan, you're going to need that proof of income.
Exactly. You want to buy a house? Okay, you have the money for the down payment. You have the money for the closing costs. Beautiful.
Yeah.
The bank's going to say, Mr. Joe Blow, how much do you make a year? Well, I work at this prestigious restaurant, and I make $18,000 a year because you don't claim your tips. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you don't claim your tips because then you got to pay taxes on the tips, right? So you just kind of buy groceries with your tips. You know, you go out to dinner with your tips. You pay your bills still kind of with your tips. Now, since you don't have to pay taxes on the tips, what it does is it's going to take your $18,000 a year, waiter job, and it's going to make it into a $75,000 a year waiter job. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because now you can claim your tips, not pay the taxes on the tips, and boost your income, which is going to help you buy one of these $500,000 houses.
Buy a house, get yourself a car.
Exactly. Get a business loan.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? These kind of things. So, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to that. The time is now, Glizzy.
Yeah, the time is now.
The time is now. You got 4 years before they put a Democrat in there and he starts taxing tips and starts taxing and reversing all the good things that we're getting accomplished.
No, I don't think they're going to put a Democrat. There's a party switch. Like every few years, sometimes like the other party is the evil one and the other party is the hero. And right now the Republican Party are the heroes and the Democratic Party are the oppressors. So I think we got like 8 years of Republicans.
The time is now, dude. If you want to get an Airbnb, you want to make a move, the time is now.
Yeah, right now is definitely the time to open up a business.
Yeah, for sure. And that's the show, man. We appreciate you guys watching. We appreciate all the love. Like, comment, and subscribe. This is the Crime Pays Podcast. I'm Mr. Sanchez, Young Glizzy.
Yeah, yo.
Out. Cheers. Peace.